Welcome, everyone. Hello. Thank you for joining us in this window of World Chefs while we work more and more to reach every one of you, trying to go everywhere. And we are here today with another educational content that we are very proud that we have put together with Electrolux Professionals and our key chef, Paolo Pettenuzzo. Hello, chef.
Good afternoon. Hello, everybody. How's it going? All good?
Even better now that I know what we're waiting for to see. The topic is called Art and Science Goes Digital, is 8th episode in the scope of 3 years. Finger food bites and stylish aperitif for party. So when I read this, I was like, this couldn't be more Christmassy and more festive than this.
Yeah, we kept these, let's say, episode for this specific part of the year where, as we all know, in the majority of the countries, they are close by from managing some holidays, vacations, and situations where to enjoy some food together with friends and family.
Yes, in my culture, when we say Christmas, it's always those big casseroles. We even bake and roast the whole turkey. But Christmas can also be like finger food bites and stylish aperitifs.
Yes, of course. I think that it depends on the situation and on the specific topic. Right now in Italy, I would say that many families have moved from a traditional meal to the favorites of every single person doing a party. So instead of creating something that is like written on a book, let's do all of the favorite plates and dishes and bites from every single participant of the event and enjoy. So I have collected, I would say, some of my favorites plus some of the things that I've been, let's say, discovering in between the different travels I've done around the world during this last year, including places like Egypt, Turkey, UK, the Middle East, the Nordic countries. So I got really a lot of infusion to create these episode together with Electrolux Professional and of course World Chefs.
And we love this because we have so many international, like I'm just checking as usual as the chat, South Africa, Ireland, Singapore, a lot of countries. So when you say that you did a fusion of everything, that's going to be amazing to hear what you have prepared. I know there are 7 recipes.
Yeah. So this is I would say the longest one, but in my opinion, according to the participants, we know that we have an audience that is for a big percentage young and into recipes. I would say that most probably the most interesting because we are basically experiencing a lot of plating techniques, a lot of little details into recipes. So I'm pretty sure that the participants are going to love it.
We already have 135 people following us in Zoom Live, and I don't know yet how much in Facebook, but much more than that. So we're ready to start. As Paolo says, 53 minutes of an amazing, I wouldn't even call it a webinar, more like a masterclass.
Yep.
For everyone here in Zoom will get certified. For people from Facebook, they need to fill this, we call it quiz, but again, today I'm going to adjust and say a test. You really build a whole test with 10 questions. Even for people here in Zoom, I think it's a great opportunity after this webinar, them go and take the test just to learn. But for the moment is the moment we enjoy the webinar. You chefs should ask questions. Please use question and answer section so Paolo can write or we can discuss them afterwards. Be bold in your questions. This chef is not scared. And here I go, talk to you in 53 minutes. Thank you very much.
Enjoy the video. Welcome back to my kitchen. Paolo Pettenuzzo from Electrolux Professional. Today we are going to talk about finger food bites and stylish aperitif for parties. One of my favorite things. When we talk about finger food, we talk about many different things. In between my favorites, vegetables, proteins, zero waste concept, cook and chill, induction, searing, frying, and much more. Today we are going to discover not one, not two, but 7 different recipes according to finger food, tiny bites, and something really, really cool. Let's get into the recipes straight away and let's start with the first one. Savory flat croissant, Sichuan pepper bechamel, Parma ham chips, and panko crumble. Let's get into this. First step, frozen croissant. Outsource frozen croissant, I prefer to go with a tiny one, so in between 30 to 35 grams. All together into a bag, I'm going to add a bit of sesame seeds and some flavored salt. This comes from a previous concept we have seen in the previous episodes, together with some leftover fresh herbs that we can dehydrate overnight. So, a mix and match of some sesame seeds, a bit of salt and some dried herbs, all together. We close the bag, tiny squeeze, and this is the result, okay? We are going to need our special tray. This is a double-faced tray. We use it for vegetables when we need to do grilled vegetable on one side and for patisserie on the other side. We are going to use not one, not two, but 3 trays for this prep. So what we do, we gently position our croissant on the tray, and next step, we are going to put on top from the rib side our tray. On top of that, another one. This will be the, let's say, the heavy part that will flatten down our croissant. And we are going to go into the oven. In the oven, we are going to use a 2-step cooking process. Number 1, 8 minutes, 180 degrees, open valve. Number 2, extra 6 minutes at a temperature of 170 degrees with a lower ventilation. And I will explain you straight away why I'm doing this. As I said, 2 steps. And this is the reason why I'm having 2 steps. In the meantime, the flat croissants are ready to get baked. I'm mixing together with the flat croissant some Parma ham. This is going to be cooked for 7 minutes, and after that, I'm going to add our panko crumbs into the residuals of fats that the prosciutto is going to provoke. So again, both together. Close the door automatically, my 185, total time 14 minutes, ready for the plating. In the meantime, we are waiting for this. Let's move into our Sichuan pepper bechamel. I'm going to start by heating up a bit our milk. And on the other side, level 6, a bechamel. This is going to be an olive oil bechamel. So a different way, a different approach of bechamel. Usually bechamel is made by butter and flour. But in this case, I'm going to use olive oil and to make it in a different way. We are going to use extra virgin olive oil, 30 grams. We are going to add then 30 grams of flour, all-purpose flour, some Sichuan pepper, and some salt that I have already mixed together with this. And as soon as the mix is done, we are going to add the milk. Quick stir. We need to let the flour to cook a bit. When we see the bubbling and we see the olive oil start to fry and we smell the nice Sichuan pepper in the air, we are ready to go with the milk. Be sure to let the mix of olive oil and flour for at least 30 to 40 seconds, ensuring that the flour is cooked. The milk is slightly warm, so not too much, but not cold. The warmer it is, the better it is, because you ensure not to get any bubbles or residuals in between the mix of flour and olive oil. I go in, I quickly stir, and in few seconds I'm going to have my bechamel done. As soon as I have the creamy consistency, I use another tool just to be sure that all the flour and all the olive oil is well incorporated. And last but not least, I'm going to add some Parmesan cheese. Very easy, very fast, very rapid, and at the same time, super powerful in flavor. Again, Sichuan pepper, Parmesan cheese, olive oil, a bit of all-purpose flour, and the job is done. After a couple of minutes, this is the result. So creamy, a bit grainy, but not because of the flour, but because of the Parmesan cheese, okay? Piping bag. I'm gonna use a tall container to help myself. Directly inside my piping bag, the bechamel. Be sure to let it cool down a bit before getting inside. Our bechamel is done. I'm going to flatten it up a bit, and I go directly into our blast chiller that has been pre-cooled down at a temperature of 3 degrees. In here, the first part of the cooking is done. So I'm ready to take a frying basket and move out our prosciutto from the tray. This is going to dry for a few minutes, and instead of moving out the container, I'm going to use the fat from the prosciutto to create a nice flavored crumble with my panko bread. So just a quick stir of my panko together with the fat residuals from the prosciutto, and we let the cooking finish. After a few seconds, you can see our prosciutto getting really transparent and at the same time super crunchy. And we are going to use it later on for decorating and creating this extra crunch on our first finger food. The cooking is done. I'm ready to move directly from the oven into our blast chiller, both the trays of the panko that is slightly roasted and golden brown, and of course the base of our finger food, so our flat croissant. Few minutes of chilling, and later on we are ready to plate. And here we are. This is the final result of our flat croissant. On one side fully flat, on the other side ribbed, and of course in front of us the rest of the ingredients.
Let's get into the plating and let's see how this looks like at the end. I start from filling the stripes of our croissant. After that, our prosciutto that I'm going to crack down and add just here and there. Our crumble. Be generous. And at the real end, a bit of orange, just to add and to give a bit of freshness. Just a bit of fresh mint on top as a final super fresh deco, and we are ready to plate. We talk about finger food, so of course we need to take care also of the plating. I'm gonna use 2 pieces of wood. And this is it. Our first finger food. Flat croissant, Sichuan pepper, and super crunchy panko and raw prosciutto. Next step and next recipe, gougère au fromage au tomate cacio e pepe. It's gonna be a pâte choux, like a puff pâte choux, together with some skins of tomatoes and of course cacio e pepe, black pepper and cheese. For this recipe, I'm going to use butter together with some skins of tomatoes that have been dehydrated overnight and powdered. Water that has been left over overnight together with some black pepper. Our cacio, in this case, pecorino cheese, and of course, flour. Let's start from putting at level 6 our pot, mixing together water together with pepper, butter with our tomato, and later on our flour. As soon as the butter has completely dissolved and melted together with the water, we can add a bit by bit our flour. Of course, I have already added some salt and a bit of sugar just to get an extra color on the cooking side. As soon as the dough is ready, I'm going to divide it in puffs on top of a tray, and I'm going to cook it in the oven. The cooking cycle is gonna be very easy. 2 steps again as the previous recipe. The first one at 180 degrees for 10 minutes, closed valve just to keep the humidity from the puffs at ventilation level number 5. Second phase, down to 170 for another 5 degrees, open valve with ventilation number 3. So at the same time, we are letting the humidity escape from the oven, and automatically we downgrade the ventilation just to be sure that the puffs don't flow away. We add the flour, and here's the magic. Again, as before, be sure that the flour cooks, and help yourself with a spoon or with a flexible spatula as the one that I'm using, just to be sure to avoid from having grains and chunks of flour or other ingredients into your choux. After a few seconds, you can get into this is like a thick cream, slightly red, given by the tomato skins. These will give, during the cooking process, a beautiful golden color, and at the same time, a backside flavor, something that I really love. As we all know, pâte choux starts on an induction and afterwards on a stand mixer. So a planetary mixer that is adding and incorporating a couple of eggs afterwards. As soon as you see from the pot all the mix perfectly stick out from the edges, it means that the job is done. Now, a few seconds more. We switch off the heat and we go directly into our stand mixer. If the recipe is well calibrated, you don't need to go egg by egg. You can drop inside the bowl everything. So in this case, the prep that I've done, 2 whole eggs and some pecorino cheese. Usually, I suggest to go for the pedal, but in this case, since the dough is quite a bit, I prefer to go with the whisk. Slow at the beginning, and after a few seconds, max speed. As soon as the dough is done, piping bag our puffs on top of a U-pan tray and straight in the oven for 15 minutes. With this quantity, we can get 18 puffs. On top, some extra pecorino cheese. And we are ready to go. These puffs, as the gougères are going to stay quite creamy and full on the inside. So do not expect to get a traditional puff effect where the inside is completely empty. This is gonna stay full, compact, and very creamy. And we go into the oven. Again, 2 steps, 180 for 10 minutes, ventilation level number 4 with closed valve. So we can get the advantage of the humidity of the dough to proof perfectly well. The last 5 minutes at 170 with open valve. The cooking is done. We are ready to go directly from the oven into our blast chiller, just to chill down the outside of the choux, ready to go for the plating. And here we are with our gougères. As you can see, nice, round, fluffy, with a beautiful color. How to plate them? I have pre-prepared with the same powder obtained by the tomato skins, a tiny whip. This is Dijon mustard together with our tomato skins, gently adding a bit on top. And last but not least, some skins of peppers from Calabria. super beautiful. And of course, really creative for a quick presentation. Gently on top of our plate. Be generous, at least 3, 4 for each person. And this is it. Our gougère automate cacio e pepe. Started with induction, with a choux, completed with some eggs and pecorino cheese, straight in the oven, blast chiller, and prepared for you. And now let's get into the third recipe. Let's get some sushi. Yeah, but in a different way. We talk about LTC, so low temperature cooked, picanha, French fries, and avocado dip. Yes, sushi with meat and French fries. It is possible, it's just a matter of creativity. I have pre-prepared a low temperature cooked picanha beef cuts at a temperature of 54 degrees. Right now it's stable into the oven. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to take it out from the oven, slightly let it rest for a few minutes, and after that, slice it really, really thin, as if it was prosciutto. At the same time, we are going to fry our French fries that have been pre-cooked steam at a temperature of 95 degrees, just with a bit of salt, sous vide for 10 minutes. After that, chill them down. I'm slightly opening the bag, adding some rice starch, and let them fry for 4 to 5 minutes. Last but not least, our avocado dip. A full avocado, frozen, chopped in small pieces, together with some lime, green chili, cilantro, tomatoes, shallots, and a bit of olive oil. Let's get into the recipe and see how it goes. Level 5 for a few seconds. Our avocado together with a couple of limes, a bit of salt, and a bit of olive oil. As soon as the cream is already almost whipped, I'm going to add a special ingredient, some pistachios, for an Italian touch. Our cilantro, baby tomatoes, our green chili, and shallot at the real end. Again, a bit of olive oil. And back again. Now, maximum speed. And here it is what you can get at the real end. Smooth, beautifully green, with a bit of tiny spots given by the cilantro, the other ingredients, and of course, our pistachio. Have you ever heard about preparing French fries in 3 steps? Number 1, in hot boiling water. After that, double fried, first of all at 130 and after that 150, 160 degrees. Well, we can squeeze down from 3 steps into 2. Number 1, 15 minutes, steamed, sous vide with a bit of salt, and after that, directly together with a bit of rice starch into our hot oil. So what I'm doing, just opening the bag, adding a bit of rice starch, sear the bag, and let the rice starch incorporate and coat slightly our potatoes. Right now, I'm going to strain the potatoes in a container and I'm gently laid it down into our hot oil. And now let's build our plate. 3 slices of meat, a bit of guacamole inside, and now just a drizzle of olive oil, a bit of Maldon salt, and of course our avocado dip. And here you have our sushi made of picanha, LTC 54 degrees, French fries double cooked, and our avocado and pistachio dip. If you prefer to have it as a starter, no worries. Just plate your meat, slice down gently on a plate. Add a bit of avocado dip and of course your French fries on the side. Next recipe, all-in-one sous vide hummus. I have pre-prepared all the ingredients, well balanced and calibrated, all together apart from the paprika and a bit of olive oil with some chickpeas pre-cooked sous vide. All the remaining ingredients are all inside. So we talk about chickpeas, tahini, salt, lemon juice, a bit of garlic, and of course, the cooking process. 100 degrees for 20 minutes, full steam, and afterwards directly into our blast chiller before blending and creating the famous hummus effect. Of course, with a bit of ice cubes. As before, we start from level number 1, and after that, as soon as the cream is almost done, we will add a couple of ice cubes and go straight to level number 9 for a maximum whip and airy effect. And the job is done. Fluffy, slightly light in color, beautiful for our next prep. A couple of spoons at the center of the plate. A gentle movement, traditional for the hummus. Some chickpeas on the top. A bit of paprika. In this case, I mixed the traditional one with the smoked one. And last but not least, a gentle drizzle of olive oil. And here you are, a wonderful hummus made of chickpeas, tahini, and all the remaining ingredients, made perfectly well, nicely, and of course fully automatic, together with our cook and chill. First, starting by cooking all the ingredients together sous vide, after that blast chilling them, and last but not least, together with our Trinity Pro, perfectly blended for a wonderful bite. Next recipe, girello, eye of round. This is an amazing piece of veal. It has been cooked at low temperature, at a temperature of 63 degrees. First of all, we have seared it, we have blast chilled it, put it inside a bag and cooked for more or less 1 hour and 45 minutes. The beautiful thing of this is that straight after the cooking, you can easily chill it down and maintain it in the fridge for a few days. Together with these that we will serve room temperature, we are going to accompany 3 more ingredients. Number 1, beef brown stock. This has been cooked in a traditional way, and right now we are going to let it reduce a bit, adding some cold butter cubes. Next one, fried sage, super easy. Oil at a temperature of 163 and our fried sage just for a few seconds. This is going to be the crunchy, greenish, but at the same time, full flavored part. Just few seconds of cooking and directly into our paper cloth just to dry and to be ready for the top of our plate. Last but not least, a prep that we have done a couple of days ago. Sweet and sour red onions. This is the result of the red onion. Same amount of sugar and same amount of white vinegar, sous vide at a temperature of 95 degrees for 25 minutes, and after that released into a fridge at least for 2 to 3 days. But there's another ingredient coming out from the oven. Dehydrated black olives. So this is just an example of how you can transform black olives in a jar from really simple and average ingredient to something really special. I have just opened up a can where inside I got some black olives with no bone. I have dehydrated them overnight at a temperature of 50 degrees using our oven, Skyline Premium S, together with our special cycle dedicated to dehydration. And now we are ready to go for the plate. Sage is done. The brown stock is perfectly boiling. I'm going to add the cold butter. Be sure that is in small cubes and super cold. It will dissolve really gently and become super creamy without even using a whisk. The butter will create that slightly emulsion and at the same time will donate a bit of sweet into the strong flavor of the brown beef stock. Quickly stirring, letting evaporate. As soon as you will get the gluey, I would say almost like honey texture, we can switch off the fire, and here you have the glaze. Let's let it rest for a few seconds and let's get into our girello. We can easily open our bag. Let me wear a pair of gloves. In here you can choose however you prefer how to plate. Right now, since we talk about tiny bites, finger food, I'm going to use a big plate and I'm going to add few slices into the same area. Here we are together with the girello. I'm going to slice it like 0.5 centimeters. Beautiful, super tender, and at the same time, really intense in flavor, even if it is quite cold. The beautiful part of the low temperature cooking is that we can guarantee the same texture and the same color in every single slice. I'm going to lay down, add a bit of olive oil, just a drizzle, some salt in flakes, and give a tiny massage. Just to shine it up every single slice, being ready to go to our plate. Few drops of the beef brown stock, irregular, nice, in here and in there. Our beautiful slices of girello. Let's get another one, just to beautifully plate this next course. Here we are, our golden sweet and sour onion. I prefer to position it on a side so you can easily see what's underneath. So our piece of meat. Beautiful. Okay. Next one. Our black olives. I'm going to grate them as if they were snow. So some grated, dehydrated black olives. Okay. And last but not least, sage. If you want, you can add some extra ground beef stock, but as you can see, in my opinion, this is beautiful enough. So again, low temperature cooked sous vide girello, eye of round, and on top, we have some sweet and sour red onion, some fried sage, and some grated black olives dehydrated overnight. And now our sixth recipe, our risotto to share. White risotto, traditional style, together with some green bean sauce, edamame, red Sicilian prawns, and roasted almonds. It looks quite difficult, but actually together with a bit of expertise, knowledge, and creativity, it's a matter of time. 15 minutes cooking, risotto on one side, our bouillon that comes from a complete dehydration of mixed vegetables, in between onions, we have the leaf from the celery, some tomato skin, all together into some hot water, slightly salted, to soak for a few minutes. So in this case, we are going to treat a bouillon in a completely different way, as if it was a sort of afternoon tea. In few minutes, this beautiful mix of vegetables that usually are supposed to be leftovers for the trash, for the bin, are becoming a wonderful bouillon, a wonderful vegetable stock. On the other side, rice, I use Carnaroli or Vialone Nano, it depends on what you prefer. Mid temperature to roast a bit, nothing inside, not even olive oil, not even butter, just to toast them. So slightly heating it up. In this way, we are going to create a sort of coating on the outside, keeping the single rice element super crunchy on the real central part, traditionally done in Italy. As soon as this is quite hot, I'm going to add a shallot. This shallot usually is finely chopped and drizzled together with a bit of olive oil and butter and added afterwards. In this case, I'm going to add it like this and full. It's gonna be a decoration at the central part of our plate. A bit of olive oil and just a bit of butter. We can go up. In this specific recipe, I'm not gonna use any wine. So for all the people that are possibly not having or using wine in preparation, no issues at all. What you can use at the real end, just to add a bit of acidity, is a couple of drops of white vinegar. Here we go. As soon as the butter has dissolved into the rice, and you can easily feel the roasting of the single rice seeds, we can start adding our stock. It has to be very, very hot. Just start by adding the double of the amount of the rice in stock. Go down at a level in between mid and low, so slightly boiling it, and leave it there for at least 10 minutes. I'm not a big fan of stirring it too much. We all know that when you stir a risotto during the cooking, you get that extra creamy effect. But actually you change completely the texture of the rice seeds. So I prefer to let it rest, sit down, and slightly move a couple of times every now and then, without stirring it too much. At the same time, we have slightly roasted some almonds. These are going to be our super crunchy element at the real end. And in front of myself, I have some green beans that have been cooked sous vide for 50 minutes, just with a bit of olive oil, salt, and just a tiny bit of garlic. Afterwards, chill down and blended perfectly to create a cream. And our edamame beans, cooked sous vide, just plain, no oil, no salt, for 7 minutes, and afterwards chill them down. So the final plate will be a white risotto. We are going to add a spiral of green beans sauce, our edamame beans, some raw prawns from Sicily, and of course a bit of crunchy almonds. I personally really love working on induction, simply because of the fact that whenever I want, I can easily lift up my pans and pots and I can easily clean up the surface. 14 minutes have passed. Slightly creamy, not too much. I want to move out the shallots. Switch off fire. Add the remaining butter. A drizzle of olive oil. And we start to do the traditional movement for risotto. Iron base. This is good for cooking, but at the same time for serving. I'm going to switch it on just to warm it up. Warm enough. Switch off fire. I add my rice, lay down gently, creating the round shape. Beautiful. And now let's continue the prep. Our green beans. Spiro. Our shallot at the center. Some edamame, again plain in here and there. Our Sicilian prawns. These are raw, eh? Beautiful. Some nuts. And at the real end, a drizzle of olive oil. And here you are, our sharing plate. A wonderful risotto for more than a person. Beautifully done together with our leftover vegetables that have been transformed into a beautiful vegetable bouillon. Our risotto, some roasted almonds, our Sicilian prawns, cream and beans. Edamame at the real end for a bit of a crunch and an extra green on top of the plate. And now let's end up with our latest product of this episode. What's better than a dessert? Actually, not really a dessert, but something sweet. We started from creating some ice cubes made of mixed berries. So blackberries, raspberries, and blueberries. We have mixed together actually some ginger, and after blending them from fresh, we have deep frozen them up until a temperature of -41. On the other side, some oranges. I usually use the inside, so the juice from the inside for many recipes, and for what regards the outside, I dehydrate it. I mix together with some sugar and some honey. I cook it for many hours, and I obtain, after blending it, a beautiful gel. This is a sweet orangey gel that I'm going to use together with these frozen cubes to create a wonderful granita. Let's blend all together into our Trinity Pro and create our beautiful sweet drink. First of all, let me take out these to prevent from cracking the inside part of the unit. Let's add all the frozen cubes inside our machine from level number 1, bit by bit, to maximum speed. We can add our orange gelée. And in a few seconds, we can get our beautiful mixed berries granita. Together with the ice cream cube, we can get our beautiful mixed berries granita. We're going to add some extra orange gel and finish it up with a bit of mint. Thanks a lot for watching this episode. I hope you have enjoyed what you have just seen, and I truly hope you're going to try this beautiful series of bites for your next party. Grazie mille and see you soon. Ciao!
Bravo, bravo Electrolux Professional, and bravo Chef Paolo Pettenuzzo.
Hey there, here I am. How was the video? It has been nice to watch it again and again because at least on the real beginning it was more than an hour, so it was really a bit long. But I think that we have conducted a real good episode. I've been reading many of the comments, and well, first of all, I would take just a couple of seconds to thank you. Thanks, War Chef, and of course, Electrolux Professional. That is the company that I'm working together with since the last 12 years. I'm really happy that many of you commented and gave inputs on how the recipe were. We all know that it would be perfect to have a wonderful environment where to, let's say, have and get all the information. We are working on it. We all know, together with War Chef, maybe for the next year, we are planning something new. But I'm sure that in case you need any questions or other things, we can reach out each other throughout our social pages and throughout the direct connection with War Chef and Electrolux Professional. After these, I hope that we have the possibility to work more and more together as a team. In my opinion, infuse technology and infuse passion for cooking, plus explaining why the technology is so important, why we need to work clean, how to give the same importance to the preparation, the recipe, but also to the respect of the ingredients. So the possibility to work clean and to respect the single elements is very important as well. And last but not least, of course, the creativity. That is actually something that I have also tattooed on my hand. So it's something that, in my opinion, at the end of the day, connects all of us in between the beautiful world of cooking.
Amazing. Thank you very much. I see some comments. Love from India, someone is writing, and a lot of compliments for you as usual. Like our chefs are very appreciated. 160 people were live with us in Zoom and much more in Facebook, I saw. But yeah, thank you very much. I really hope to get to see you again. We will have the chance probably to have you again in 2026. But this is an amazing wrap up of the year regarding educational partners, educational webinars and content.
Lovely. Thanks a lot for everything, and hopefully see you soon. Enjoy the rest of the year, and don't forget to keep in contact, okay?
Follow Chef Paolo, everyone. Follow us in YouTube to see the video right after. And have a holy December. Merry Christmas. Bye.
Oh, and don't forget to follow, of course, Word Chef and Electrolux Professional, since we are posting every single week a lot of interesting content related to novelties, food, and technology. Thanks
And
a
the
lot for
content
being
of
with us.
future webinars is usually both in Electrolux Professional and in Word Chef's pages, so we stay in contact there. Bye. Hug.